This all-around build stats and build name is giving me 2K20 playmaking glass cleaner vibes, and I'm here to show you what it's all about. I'm just gonna spoil the build name right now. A two-way midi slashing cleaner. It's got defense, shooting, slashing, and rebounding in its build name, and it also unlocks the best dribble moves and best dribble style for tall builds. It's safe to say I cooked at 2K20's early testing. Now, warning, this build video is to help you get an idea of what to make when 2K26 drops. But as of now, this specific build is the one I have jotted down for my first build. So this was built for my playstyle and for the modes that I plan on starting out in 2K26. I will show multiple ways you can make it though, while factoring in 0 cap breakers and a little bit of the +2 cap breakers and max +1, max +2 badge specialization rewards. Hey, all I ask is for you to just hit that subscribe button, but let's officially get started with this build and my entire thought process behind it and the things you can get away with to change it for your liking so you can have a better idea of what to do when you load up 2K26. What is good, YouTube? It's your boy Henry, aka @DoubleH, back at it with yet another banger, and it is time to make my first build for NBA 2K26, the build that I plan on starting NBA 2K26 with. And yeah, y'all know that I like to ISO a lot. I like to play on taller builds for most 2Ks. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna start with a 6'6" in the builder. So I went to go make a 6'6", and something I noticed was the badge tiers. Badge tiers are returning to 2K26, and I feel as if they are very important for this year's builds, because with all these max +2 badges, max +1 badges that we could potentially get, especially those max +2, max +1 tier 2s, because they're going to be a lot easier to get than those tier 1s, I feel that it's important to see what badges you can get at tier 1 and tier 2. So on this 6'6", Lightning Launch is a tier 1 badge. So I went back to the main screen, went to 6'7". Lightning Launch is still a tier 1 badge. So I went back to the main screen, put it up to 6'8", and now Lightning Launch is a tier 2 badge. So I thought that was very interesting because Lightning Launch is obviously a very important badge. If you guys watched any of my gameplay breakdown video, you know that dribbling and speed bursting out of moves looks very good in 2K26. So I feel like speed with ball, Lightning Launch, and ball handle is going to matter a lot for your build in 2K26 if you plan on dribbling the ball. And if Lightning Launch is a tier 2 badge, it's gonna be pretty easy to get a max +2 tier 2, which means you could get Hall of Fame Lightning Launch on a 6'8" build. And since it's tier 2, you can save your max +1 and max +2 tier 1 badges on something else, like a shooting badge that's really important, or a defensive badge, or even another playmaking badge, or even a rebounding badge. Not only that, but if y'all watch the gameplay breakdown, I felt like taller builds were moving pretty well, and it seemed like taller builds would have an advantage when it comes to finishing or even shooting and not getting as contested as a smaller player. And you still get that ball handle, which is max potential 86 ball handle. So if you want the 85 ball handle drill moves, 6'8" is the tallest you can go for those, allowing me to get the best tier momentum crossover and a bunch of good animations. And if we wanted to max the speed of ball, 80 speed of ball is a max threshold. Maybe there's a reason to go from 75 to 80. We don't know yet. We're gonna have to test the game first. But yeah, I am a shooting guard because max height, like I said, is 6'7" at point guard. Weight, I ended up going 185 to start. I end up changing that. Wingspan, I end up changing that too. I started at 6'9". This is why I'm showing my thought process of making the build, so you guys can see kind of what mistakes I made at first, what I ended up learning, and what kind of conclusion I came to and how I came to it for my build. So the first thing I ended up doing was maxing out the 3-pointer. Well, not maxing it out, but upgrading it to 89, because I'm like, okay, silver limitless, let's get that. Then I put the 75 speed of ball for Zach LaVine dribble style, which is the best dribble style in 2K26 as of now for taller builds. And you get the silver Lightning Launch, then the 85 ball handle, just because I thought most of the drill moves would be right there, and then 71 pass sack for that silver dimer and some kind of decent pass sack. Then I put the standing dunk to a 40. I never go 45 standing dunk. You only need that 40 standing dunk animation, and I went to go look up the animation because with the animation glossary you can look up any dribble move, any dunk, any jump shot, whatever, and I confirmed that you get the 40 standing dunk. And look at it says you have to be 6'5" and taller, so no more 6'4", 6'3", 6'2", 6'1 De'Aaron Fox crossing or crossing into the paint for a standing dunk. Another reason why you could want to make a taller build if you plan on crossing into the paint for a standing dunk, you got to be 6'5" or taller. Then I ended up putting this driving dunk for 79 for now. I put the speed to 85, I put the agility to 80, not for any badge reason, just because I thought that was a good spot to be at. And I feel like people aren't going to be going super high speed and agility yet because it's super expensive, and that's not something you're probably going to be able to get away with and make an all-around build until you have a lot of cap breakers. Then I went with 85 perimeter defense to get those silver prim badges, 60 steal just to start with bronze interceptor. I thought in the builder breakdown, like I showed, that plucks were really rare, so I'm not going to be really reaching for plucks, so I kind of just wanted to start off with interceptor, maybe max +1 or 2 that in the future. Then we went with 74 block and 60 interior defense. Then I went back to the driving dunk, and now I'm upgrading just little things at once just to see what I can get away with, see what how long it takes me to get to 99 overall. And I upgraded the driving dunk, I was upgrading the vertical, seeing what the posterizer badge requirements were. They're the same as last year, so at first I go 89 driving dunk, 78 vert after checking the contact dunk animation requirements, which are also the same as last year. And since the dunk meter got a buff, it's not as good as 24, but it's better than 25. And in 24, that 93-80 threshold, well, back then it was 94-80 threshold, was where I thought the dunk meter was the best at in terms of making a build. So that's what I went with again in 2K26, that 93 dunk, 80 vertical threshold for goal post riser and the extra contact dunk animations. I tried going up to 86 ball handle. It gives me silver ankle assassin. I end up changing that later on, but then I noticed my rebounding. I have a 70 offense rebound, 55 defense rebound, and for my play style, especially on the twos core, I want to have high rebounding. If I'm playing with a popper, I want to be able to have really good rebounding. I want to have a max O board, and right now Rebound Chaser is a tier 1 badge, and I don't even get silver Rebound Chaser because I don't have enough max potential to get that. So I went back to the main screen and I put up my weight to exactly 205 pounds, which gave me the max potential to get 80 defensive rebound, allowing me to get silver Rebound Chaser. So then I maxed out my D board. I could also max out my O board to 73. With this 80 defensive rebound would give me silver Rebound Chaser, which I liked. We also have silver box out beast. And then I just tried upgrading some other things. I put 70 O board, and then I could get a 92 prim. So this is why I'm showing all of the footage of me making this build, so y'all are aware of what you can get away with. So you can get 92 prim at this point in the build. Get those gold perimeter badges. That could be kind of nice. Then I put it back down. I'm like, okay, let's try something else. Midi seemed really cheap. I got all the way up to an 89 midi, a +10 midi from 97 to 98 overall. That's kind of crazy. So I'm like, okay, let me put the 3 down to 83, get some more midi, put that strength down that we got from putting up the perimeter. Now I have a 93 midi, giving me a bunch of gold shooting badges and Hall of Fame set shot instead of just like 1 gold shooting badge and silver shooting badges. So I thought that was much more worth it than having just an 89-3 and a 79 midi. Now I have an 83-3 and 93 midi. Then I started to know my 86 ball handle stat. I'm like, do I need an 86 ball handle? Because at 85 ball handles where you get the best momentum tier crossover. I remember that James Harden combo moves from last year was that 86 ball handle. I searched it up, but then I forgot that they took out combo moves out of the game. I'm pretty sure they moved them to put inside of the escapes. I'm not 100% sure. So I'm like, okay, there's not really a specific move that I want that's at 86 ball handle. I don't care about silver ankle assassin. I already have my best tier momentum crossover unlocked, so I may as well go down to 85 ball handle. There's no point of 86 ball handle right now. So I start messing around with the extra stats. I could get maybe a 73 pass instead of a 71, a +1 3 for 84-3, a +1 speed for 86 speed, a +2 agility for 81 agility, only a +1 for 86 prim, only a +1 for steal for 61 steal, only a +2 for block, 76 block, maybe +2 for speed ball, 77 speed ball, maybe a 75 layup, maybe an 80 post control, or a 59 standing, 69 free throw. there didn't really seem like there was much great options. But before I chose what to do, I wanted to show some playmaking moves and me looking up the animation glossary just to show y'all some moves that were good, that were tested in 2K26 by me and some other people like Community. Vince Carter's step back was good. That was available to me with a threshold of only 70 ball handle. Scottie Pippen behind the back was really good. That was also available to me with only a 75 ball handle threshold. Lonzo Ball cross was really good. That was also available to me with an 80 ball handle threshold. Jimmy Butler escape was really good. That was also available to me. Same with the KD escape, both at 70 ball handle. Also, the Devin Booker aggressive was available to me at 85 ball handle. And the Tracy McGrady SIG size up was also available to me at 85 ball handle. And of course, that Zach LaVine dribble style at 75 speed of ball. So at this point, this is what the final build was looking like. After putting the 86 ball handle down, I ended up going with the +2 for 81 agility, and this is what I could get away with at this point. But then I was like, okay, if I do build specialization for shooting, which I feel like is the best here. If you guys don't know what the specialization is, you can choose between finishing, shooting, playmaking, defense, rebounding, and you get a +2 cap breakers to that section, a max +2 to tier 1 or tier 2, and a max +1 badge to tier 2 or tier 1. I feel like build specialization is going to be pretty capable for most people watching these videos. And if you don't remember the challenges, the first goal where you got something good, you get the first cap breaker after making 500 middies or threes, and you can do this offline in my career too. You get the first badge max +1 that can go towards tier 1 or tier 2 after winning 100 games with 5 or more jump shots in each win. Another pretty manageable one. And then the second shooting cap breaker when you make 1,000 middies or threes, and then the other max +2 badge when you make 2,000 middies or threes. I feel like everyone's going to get to these at some point, especially, bro, if you're playing micro, like you can easily knock that off in offline micro, literally on a rookie. Like that would be mad easy. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do build specialization shooting. So what if I did that? So we're gonna put the midi down 2 to save as many attributes as possible because it's the most expensive one. So what could I get when I put the midi down 2? Well, I could get an 87 3-pointer maybe, but there's not really a reason to do that. I could get an 80 pass accuracy with a max offensive rebound, maybe a 76 pass max O board and a 78 speed with ball. But is there really a reason to get the +3 speed with ball? I was maybe messing around hiring the block, hiring the standing dunk, or the interior defense. Maybe I could get the max O board 85 3 and 76 pass. By the way, at 76 pass, you get silver versatile visionary. I'm pretty sure last year was like at 78 or 77, so that's a minor change. Maybe I get 87 speed with the max O board 85 3, or 85 3 84 agility with the max O board. But at this point, I thought this was the best combination. You get the 76 pass act, which is going to give you the silver break starter, the silver versatile visionary, 85 3 from 83 just to have a bigger green window. I feel like 85 sounds better. And then you get the max offensive rebound, so we have max offensive and defensive rebound. And I thought, oh yeah, this would be the end of the build. But thank God I was not done making the build, because I ended up figuring out that when we put our 3-pointer down a while ago to 83 instead of 89, we didn't realize that we could put our wingspan up again. So make sure if you end up doing this, make sure you have as long wingspan as possible. So I went 6'10 wingspan, which is still enough to get the 93 midi instead of 6'9 wingspan. And for whatever reason, that gave me extra stats to get 75 offensive rebound now at 99 overall. Now, here is what the final build looks like with nothing. This is no cap breakers, no max +1s, no max +2s involved. 93 dunk, 80 vertical for the contacts, 93 midi for the half set shot, 83 3 for the bronze limitless, 71 pass act for the silver dimer, 85 ball handle for all the drill moves and the highest tier from the momentum, 75 speed ball for that Zach LaVine dribble style and silver lightning launch, 60 interior, 74 block for the bronze blocking badges, 85 prim for the silver defensive perimeter badges, 60 steal. I know that's probably the worst thing about this build, and a lot of y'all are gonna get on me about that, but plucks are terrible. So the only thing that's going to be working for you for steals, really, for the most part, unless you have a super high steal, is going to be blitz steals and lanes. And I plan on putting a max +2 or max +1 on the interceptor. And I feel like if any badge is one of those badges that's not really going to be affected too much by the attribute, and as long as you have the badge, you're probably good. It's gonna be interceptor in my opinion. Then we have the max rebounding, giving us silver box out, silver rebound chaser. I feel like our physicals are pretty good. We don't have strength on this build. I've never really liked having strength on my build unless I am a center or a lockdown. So 85 speed, 81 agility, 80 vertical, and those are all the badges you get right here for tier 1 and tier 2. That lightning launch tier 2 is huge. But before we move on to these badges that you see here that you unlock and the takeovers that you unlock and the takeover abilities, let's see what the build would look like with shooting build specialization. And this is how I'm going to make the build to start the game, because I feel like why would you not prepare for your specialization? It shouldn't be too hard. All you have to do is grind micro on rookie, or you could just play online and get it through that. So you could put the MIDI down to 91, and then you have some options. You can go with 80 pass accuracy from here, lower the O board a tiny bit and get 80 speed with ball, but I'm not sure if that's really going to be worth it. If you think speed with ball stat is actually going to matter past like a lightning launch badge or a dribble style, then that could be something that you could look at. Or you could do a combination of putting the 3 up to 85 and the pass sec up to 76, giving you a higher green window, silver, versatile visionary, silver box out beast. Or you could do a combination of 85, 3, 87 speed, or a combination of 85, 3, 84 agility. And there's probably some other things you could do too. If you were planning on upgrading the steel though, it doesn't go up like at all. So it is very expensive. So what I plan on doing is putting that MIDI down to, like I said, going 76 pass sack for the silver break starter, silver versatile visionary, and then the 85, 3, and then we'll complete the build right there. We'll choose shooting specialization. I'll put the +2 cap breakers for 93 MIDI, giving us gold Deadeye and Hall of Fame set shot, the most expensive stat here. Then that'll give us a max +1 and a max +2 that we can put at any tier slots from for our shooting. And obviously I'm going to spend them both on tier 1 because all our shooting badges are at tier 1 plus. Why would you not do that? That's where the most expensive badges are for your build. So I would put the max +1 on set shot specialist, giving us legend set shot. Then I would put the max +2 from the shooting specialization on either, you can go limitless range for gold, or shifty legend, or Deadeye legend. I'm gonna probably do legend shifty shooter. Now that's just the shooting specialization. If you want to think even in the future and you don't have to change anything about the build, this is just thinking in the future. Eventually you will unlock a max +1 for tier 1 and tier 2 and a max +2 for tier 1 and tier 2. So that's 4 badge upgrades that you could potentially get at some point. So the first max +2 I get, which should be pretty easy to get, I'm going to put that lightning launch to Hall of Fame, which is going to be insane. Then the other max +2, which is going to be spent for tier 1, I'm either going to put that on gold interceptor, but I really want to put it on a Hall of Fame rebound chaser. Y'all let me know what you think. Honestly, I should probably do the interceptor if we're being smart, but the Hoff rebound sounds insane on this build. I'm honestly going to put it to Hoff rebound for now, just for visual purposes. Anyways, then the max +1 tier 1, I would put on whatever I don't put on for the tier 2 interceptor rebound chaser. So for visual purposes for now, we'll put it on interceptor for silver interceptor. Then the max +1 for tier 2, I would put on paint patroller. So just imagine this build. I mean, this build could literally be insane, even just after the build specialization in your first max +2 with the Hoff lightning, legend set shot, legend shifty, and then from there you could get Hoff rebound, silver interceptor, silver paint patroller. I'm really liking my build here. But before we see the scouting report for this build, let's look at the takeovers that you unlock. So the only takeover abilities you unlock with this build is the sharpshooter takeover ability, which is a newer one, and it boosts shot making from standstill and off the dribble, as well as increase shot chances of ankle breakers, also improved ability to get open off the ball. I feel like this is the perfect takeover for the have. So you're telling me if I wanted to dex on the inbound for a backdoor or a 3, this takeover helps with that. It kind of looks like the sharpshooting takeover from 2K19 and 2K20. It's going to help with standstill catch and shoots and off the dribble shots. I have legend shifty with my build specialization, gold without it, and I can get ankle breakers with this takeover. Dude, this is literally the perfect take. And then if I wanted to, I could also have the poster machine takeover, which is just going to allow me to go crazy with the contact dunks. And if the dunk meter's insane, maybe we end up going with that. Now let's look at the actual takeover like pluses we can put. Now at one point we can unlock custom takeover. I don't know where that's going to be. Maybe in the level system, maybe somewhere else. I'm not sure. We're going to go through all of these really quick just to show y'all. You can get 3 and D, which is going to give a plus to three-pointer, midi, and perim. You can get clinic, which is three-pointer, midi, layup. Driver, which is dunk, ball handle, speed with ball. Finisher, which is dunk, standing dunk, close shot. Glass gunner, which is defense, rebound, midi, three. Offensive artist, which is mid-range, three-pointer, pass act. Skilled slasher, which is dunk, three-pointer, midi. Sky warden, which is dunk, standing dunk, perim. Honestly, my favorites were 3 and D, offensive artist, and skilled slasher, but I'll probably start with glass gunner. I don't know, maybe 3 and D will end up seeing. Then when you make the build, this is what ends up showing up. We get shades of Mikal Bridges, Eddie Jones, Isaiah Ryder, so not any crazy shades, but the build name is the two-way midi slashing cleaner, and this is what it says for the strengths and weaknesses. Starting off with the weaknesses, almost no steal impact at all. And that they're right. You're right. My steal is definitely the worst thing about the build. 60 steal for bronze interceptor, but after the max +2 or the max +1, you know, we get that gold interceptor. If we do the max +2 or even silver, that's going to help our lane steals a lot. We're probably going to get blitz steals anyways. Flux are just nowhere. They're not very good in 26 gameplay as of right now. And you also get a lot of fouls when you reach, so I don't want to be reaching crazy on the ball anyways. But the strength, a poster waiting to happen, sticks to middies with no hesitation, excellent perim defense positioning, and deadly in open floor situations. Is that not the perfect thing to say about a build that I'm going to ISO with on the 2v2 core? Deadly in open floor situations? Yes, I am taking this scouting report all day long. Let me know what you think of the build. Let me know what changes you're going to be making to the version I made. And let me know if you're going to be going with a different specialization than shooting specialization if you made this build. Oh, and if you want to check out some other ISO builds, I made a full other video showcasing a bunch of other different heights and ISO build options other than this one that I'm starting off with. Go click the video on your screen to check it out.